Hey sports fans! So after running 50 kilometers around Alsace, I came to Orléans to cycle the Loire Valley trail. It's a trail that stretches across the entirety of France from east to west. I'm just going to be cycling for a few days in the central region, checking out some châteaux, wineries, doing a little tasting, and yeah, just seeing what's so special about this region that they're celebrating their 25th anniversary. 25th anniversary for the trail, not the region. The region's, obviously been around a lot longer than that. Hey sports fans, I am here in Orléans heading to dinner before setting off on the Loire Valley Trail, and I've got my glasses on because I'm going to Le Cabinet Vert. Pictures online made it look a bit fancy, at least more than I'm traditionally accustomed to, so hoping I can fit in a little bit. Interesting, it's got this popcorn in there, but it's asparagus. Alright, well I just left and turns out it wasn't overly fancy. It was just, a delicious dinner. And they were able to make some vegetarian options for me, so that was much appreciated. Now I'm heading back to the hotel, walking along the river during this lovely little sunset and getting ready for tomorrow's bike ride. Right, I'm all packed up, ready to go. I've done cycling trips before, but usually with the whole lycra outfit, the tight pants and the tight shirt. I've never done the casual touring style, strangely enough. So I wasn't quite sure what to wear. I've got comfortable hiking pants on down here, and I went with the trail shoes because I just thought those would be a bit more comfortable. But as I wore it last night as well to what I thought would be a fancy dinner, but was perfectly lovely for my style. I have this shirt, which, for better or worse, somebody will watch this and tell me yeah, no, that doesn't pass. This is the t-shirt I wear when I'm going someplace where I want to look nice, but it's a bit warm for something long sleeve. So I wear this because I don't know why I think it's my nice shirt, because I guess because it has no visible branding, and almost all of my shirts reference Cleveland or Cuyahoga Valley National Park or some other city that I really like, and it's just blasted on the front of the shirt. And this one's just, I think a nice t-shirt. I don't know. And since I'm going to chateaux and wineries and whatnot, I want to look, not like a schlub. There are enough negative stereotypes about American travelers these days, so I don't really want to add to the trash heap, if you will. So I don't want to look too schlubby. So this is what I'm going with. I've got all my stuff. I'm going to head down now. They say my bike is ready. And I guess just hop on and start, pedaling as you do on a bike. Oh, there it is. Alright, well, slight hiccup. There's obviously a bike lock here, but I don't know the code. Was not given a code. So they're running back to find out if there's a code anywhere, and then I'll start riding. Alright, I'm on the bike. Gotta start now. Going uphill a little bit on what was supposed to be an almost entirely flat course. So far, easy breezy. It's gorgeous. It's sparkling like a painting. And just like that, out here in the countryside, in Orléans literally 10 seconds ago, and now look at this. It's I'm in the middle of nowhere. That's what I love about European cities. You can just so quickly get out of the city and into nature. And as soon as I say that, here comes a car. Got excited chasing that cyclist and got off course for a second there, but heading back on. So I do prefer generally having the GPX on my watch so that I can just kind of glance every now and again and know that I'm on the right path. But that said, you do see pretty frequently Loire Valley painted on the path. So it's just another gentle indication that you're not lost. Have to keep my mouth mostly shut because there's a lot of bugs flying around in this tall grass, smacking me kind of like rain droplets on a windshield. I don't really have anything protecting my mouth. Should probably stop yapping. You know, one thing I do love about cycling, especially on a path like this dedicated to cycling, is that it's the only way to see these places. These days, there are a lot of what I'm gonna call park and peak tourists. You know, they take the tourist van or in their own car, they drive up to wherever the viewpoint is. They park, have a look, and then they drive on. They don't want to do the hike even if they're able to. They don't want to do much of anything physical. Come to think of it, they just want to see the thing that they saw on Instagram or heard about and get on with their day. It's like the Ozempic of tourism. Debatable whether or not I'll put that line in. Might get me into a lot of trouble. But you can't do that here. You gotta ride. So right now I'm projected to arrive at the town with the train station that I need to hop on. I'm projected to arrive more than an hour earlier than planned for in my itinerary. So that might mean I need to take it easier, but I can't help it. When I get on the bike, the most cycling I've ever done is, you know, when you're clipped in and you're flying. And I'm seeing a few cyclists like that, and I really want to dive in and do that, but I just got to remind myself that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to take in the sights and do a little bit of recovery after my ultra marathon. But it really does look fun to be clipped in and just be really hitting these paths next time. All right, I pulled over because I'm making great time and I wanted to stop and use this Merlin app I have to see what kind of birds I'm hearing chirping around here, because I just entered this part where it's a little bit more forested and I'm just hearing all kinds of chirping. It's like a Disney film or something. And so here are the results. We have a song thrush, a common chaffinch, and last but not least, a great tit. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's just about 8 kilometers to go until I'm in the next town where I hop on the train. The trail turned into kind of a mix of crushed limestone and concrete. So a little bit bumpier, but nothing the old tuchus can't handle. Sounds weird. Not sure why, but it does. So lately the trail has gotten pretty narrow, much more wooded, and you can see how the pollen's kind of gathered up on the side here. Almost looks like snow. Well, I just passed a sign that said Bienvenue à Beauchamp. So unless my French somehow got even worse, I think I'm in Beauchamp, which is a town where I'm gonna pause for a bit, hop on the train to, hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Blois, B-L-O-I-S, Blois, Blois, Blue, Blee, Blois. And I'm gonna take the train over there and then cycle a bit more to a château. Nice little climb to the train station. Alrighty, I think I made it to the train station. Alright, so there we have it. You can see that is the direction I'm supposed to go. Kind of wish I brought a book with me, but I guess I'll just listen to a podcast and chill out for a bit. until the train comes and I cycle some more. And we're off again. So on this second bit of the day, it seems like the path is shared with bikes and cars. It's still mostly cyclists, but I am seeing the occasional car go by. Well, isn't this just a quaint little village? Little village, that's kind of redundant, isn't it? I've never been in a big village. Well, I wish I had my clip-on pedals because this looks like a fun climb, but it ain't happening on this bike. But I just passed where I'm going to be spending the night, and it looks like I got to schlep up here to get to the chateau. But before I dive in, I need lunch. So I saunter up to the buffet before getting a tour of the castle. This, strangely enough, would end up being one of my favorite meals of the entire trip. Alright, well, I was told that my vegetarian sausage will take about 10 minutes, so I'm starting with a salad, some bread, and dessert, a little crumble. Sure, a little of everything would be good. Perfect, thank you so much. And because I am a serious journalist, I got some cheesecake as well, because I gotta try a little bit of everything. Pleasantly plump, I meet up with Ophélie for a tour of my first castle of the trip, the Domaine de Chaumont-sur-Loire. A castle so refined, so elegant. I'm feeling a little self-conscious with my sweat stains from cycling all morning. It's understandable. How do you say that? I know, but I started this trip and I was like, I don't know what to, I'm gonna go to a nice chateau. I don't want to wear. You should have wore white, maybe. Well, I was like, I'm going to a nice chateau. Or I don't want to. Yeah, maybe, but I'm not a very fancy guy, and so I was like, I'm going to a chateau. I want to like not look like an American schlub because there's enough negative stereotypes about us out there. So I was like, this is like my kind of nice t-shirt, but then it just got so hot. I was like,
it's alright.
Yeah.
I'm sweaty as well.
Yeah, but I'll just face this way so it's not too like, oh, what the hell is that? The Domaine is an 11th century castle and UNESCO World Heritage Site that could easily double as a backdrop of a Disney film with its series of connected cylinder towers topped with smooth, coned roofs. The castle's interior has been almost entirely converted into an art gallery. The chapel, for instance, is now full of branches strewn about like some kind of apocalyptic scene out of The Last of Us, and a work created by Swiss artists Gerda Steiner and Jörg Lenzlinger.
So the chateau we know today has been made in year 1000 in wood. Mm-hmm. It has been burned down, and then a rich family from Amboise, with a city about 20 minutes away, they bought the land of Chaumont and they rebuilt the chateau in the 15th century. There is a part that looks like medieval style, and another part that is more like Renaissance part, because it took 40 years to build it.
Right. So it kind of transitioned through the phases.
Exactly.
And then, so now though, it's like a mixture of history and art.
Totally, because today Chaumont-sur-Loire is a center of art and nature. So we have an art season every year, with 15 new artists who exhibit their art in the chateau, in the stables, and in the farmyard, with a building from the 1903. And we also have an international garden festival with 25 new gardens made each year. And they are made according to a theme. And this year's theme is Once Upon a Time in Garden.
This place is huge, first
of all.
like the whole, like we went through the chateau, And then some of the gardens, not all of them, you were saying that you would need like a good hour, hour and a half to see them all. And then to see the entire, what did you say, 35 hectares?
Yes,
You would need like a day,
totally.
at least.
At least.
Yeah.
You need at least one day to visit it all. The art, the garden, the chateau. So we have restaurants for you to take a break. And sometimes it's best if you have 2 days to visit the domain, it's the best of the best. And we have a beautiful view on the Loire. We have the best view on the Loire because the chateau is right upon the village, and we don't even see the village from the chateau. We see the Loire, only the Loire. So it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's definitely not ugly.
No, it's beautiful. Beautiful landscape.
Sufficiently cultured, I roll down the hillside back to the Loire.
All right, well, after visiting the chateau, I am now back on the Loire River, and I'm going to be meeting up with a boat tour company, I believe, for a little paddle, float, I don't know, heading out onto the river for about an hour before settling into my boat hotel for the evening, dinner, and sleep before doing some version of it all again tomorrow. All right, well, I'm on the boat. They said that they're just waiting for a translator, but the captain spoke absolutely perfect English. Just makes me think of the discrepancy between what an American thinks is speaking a language. You'll hear a lot of Americans be like, oh yeah, I speak Spanish or whatever. But then when push comes to shove and you're thrown into a conversation, it's like, oh yeah, biblioteca.
The relaxing excursion cements my growing sentiment that the Loire reminds me of the German Rhine with its grassy, sandy islands popping up in the middle. There's one here that we sail around with signs warning against trespassing on the island to protect the tern, a kind of seabird who uses it to lay their eggs. Back at shore, I'm escorted just a short walk down to the houseboat where I'll be spending the night.
Les toilettes, ce sont des toilettes sèches.
Toilet sesh?
Toilet session. No
We're
water.
having a toilet session.
It's without water.
Okay.
After use, half.
Oh, yeah, sawdust. Yep. Sawdust. Yeah. I remember
The
that.
light is
After the tour, I quickly get settled in and hop in the shower, which is an experience in and of itself.
Well, I just got out of the shower and totally fine using this whole pump situation. I could definitely smell like the river water. I presume it's like cleansed or something because they were talking about like some power plants in the vicinity earlier, and you know, don't want to be growing a third eye like the Simpsons fish. But one thing I forgot to plan for was that maybe I would need my own soap. And unfortunately, I couldn't find anything on the boat, but I did find this dish soap. So hopefully that's kosher to shower with. So yeah, dish soap. What you shower with when you really got nothing else and you got no other choice. Other than smell stinky, but I don't think France wants that out of me.
Sparkling like, well, dishes fresh out of the washer, I get dressed for dinner at Feu de Loire, which roughly translates to the madman of the Loire. So I feel right at home.
I'm outside of my houseboat now. Feels weird to say that, my houseboat. But dinner is just up over there, so I'm gonna go eat.
After a crisp glass of the local Chardonnay, a phenomenal tartine with goat cheese topped with seasonal veggies, and a little something for the sweet tooth, I'm reminded of something I've said in previous adventures. If reincarnation is real, I'm coming back as a dung beetle.
So I'm about to lie down in bed and prepare my route for tomorrow. And there was this curtain in front of the bed, and I just pulled it back, and it's pretty nice. I don't know if I need to move into a houseboat, but having this like right in front of me, that's pretty cool.
Coming up next time, I cycle another 28 miles to where Leonardo da Vinci spent the last 3 years of his life, and to Maison Les Ducius for a little wine tasting, before settling in at the way above my pay grade, Les Hautes Roches Hotel.
Did they mix me up with somebody else? Like, I have no business being in here.
And contemplating a massive career pivot.
You know, this is probably the closest I'll ever get to an OnlyFans. So, drink it in, or grab a trash can to the side of you and vomit. I really don't know what your preference is.